to speak English, the language of gibberish. You ever wonder why the whole world had to learn English? I mean, really think about it. For a planet full of thousands of languages, why this one? Why was English chosen as the global tongue? It wasn't by accident, and it wasn't because it was the most efficient, or the most expressive, or even the most ancient. No, it was chosen because it's an inverted language. And not just a little bit. I'm talking about a language that was designed from its very inception to disconnect you from nature, from truth, and from resonance. See, most people don't realize that language is a frequency. Language is spellcraft. Every word you speak is like casting a vibration into the field. So what happens when the very structure of your language is built on a mirror, where things don't mean what they should, and sounds don't flow like they do in nature? And literally everything, or 70% of the words that you speak that you think mean one thing, literally mean the opposite. Not around. Serious. See, most people don't realize that language is frequency. You get a planet of people trying to resonate with a universe that literally can't understand them. Let me explain. Languages like ancient Druidic, Aramaic, Sanskrit, they were living languages. Their letters flowed like water. The sounds they made echoed the movements of natures, the wind, the waves, the rustling of trees. The Druids, for example, would name their trees by the sound their leaves made when the wind touched them. That's how in tune they were. That's the resonant language. That's what it means to be in harmony with creation. Now compare that to English. Rigid, boxy, clipped, monosyllabic. It's a Frankenstein of older tongues, Latin, Germanic, French, Hebrew, all jumbled and twisted. But more than that, it's intentionally reversed. Now take the word queen. People think it means royalty. Women all over the world calling themselves queens like it's empowering. But in Old English, queen literally meant whore. Look it up. It comes from the word seween, a woman of low morals. Now take the word. Most of us think it's the dirtiest word you can say to a woman. But if you trace it back to its ancient African and patriarchal roots, it was a sacred word, a title of reverence. It was used to refer to the divine feminine, the sacred portal, the place of life and wisdom. So the bad word actually meant divine woman.
This is crazy, y'all.
The word meant prostitute. This isn't coincidence. This is intentional inversion. Now, what if I told you maybe 50, 60, or even 70% of the English words are like this, where the common modern meaning is the exact opposite of the original, where the vibration is stripped, reversed, mocked, and deadened. Words like evil used to be live, spelled backwards. God is dog in reverse. Grammar is from grimoire, meaning spell book. Spelling is literally spell casting, and you think that it's just a clever wordplay? No, this is literally design. So who designed it? Huh? You ever thought about that? Let's go back, really far back, to the Phoenicians. Seafaring merchants, master traders, the ones who controlled the Mediterranean and lied to the world, telling them the earth was flat so no one else would explore their routes. They were the original tricksters, and their fingerprints are all over modern power structures. But here's what
I thought there was more meat to be eaten in this video, to be honest with you, but
some say it was a flood, others say a solar strike or a pole shift. Whatever it was, the world was shattered, civilizations were lost, memory was fragmented, and then, what do you know, the Savior showed up. We see this pattern over and over. After a world-ending event, Mysterious godlike beings appear to help. Enlil, Enki, Quetzalcoatl, Viracocha. They bring order, law, language, civilization. But what they really bring is control, structure, and systems. And the Phoenicians, they followed the exact same pattern. I wouldn't be surprised if they were a continuation, maybe a descendant, an avatar of those older Metatronic beings. They didn't create the Metatronic overlay, they inherited it. Took it up on a mantle, perfected it, and rolled it out across a post-cataclysmic world that had forgotten itself. There is evidence that Phoenicians came from ancient Ireland, the Tuatha De Danann, perhaps, the Shining Ones. That's a whole nother rabbit hole, but it tracks, because what we're really talking about is recurring archetype, one that surfaces after every fall, every collapse, every reset, the architects of inversion. And they didn't just stop with trade routes, they became royalty. From the Phoenicians came the Merovingians, the Carolingians, and from them Charlemagne, whose bloodline spread like wildfire through all of Europe. Then came Johann William Frizzo, a lesser known figure but critical, because every single European monarch alive today descends from him. I'm talking about kings and queens of England, Spain, Sweden, Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Monaco, you name it. One bloodline, all related, all from the same source. A Metatronic network of rulers cloaked in royalty, dressed in culture, hiding behind a pageantry and crowns, but all singing the same inverted song. So back to English. Why is this the global language? Because it's the final form of that inversion. It's the Tower of Babel 2.0. It looks unified, but it's confused. It sounds intelligent, but it's hollow. It's spread around the world because when you speak it, especially if it's the only language you know, your spells don't land. Your prayers are distorted. Your affirmations are getting scrambled in the ether. You're literally speaking in reverse intent. Think about that. You're literally speaking in reverse intent. That is literally what the English language is. When your words are reversed, your reality is too. That's why the world feels backwards. That's why nothing makes sense. That's why culture, law, medicine, education, everything is upside down, because the code behind it all is upside down. And until we see that, until we reclaim our language, our resonance, and our connections to nature, we'll keep trying to manifest heaven while speaking hell. So no, it's not just a language, it's a system.
That was pretty good. Okay, he revved it up at the end. It's a gem. You might want to screenshot this and send it to all your friends and family. The constellations aren't what you think they are. They're the original Paleo Hebrew.